Hello, we are going to look at the Actatek Web UI, the web user interface of the Actatek third generation devices. This is our demo page that can be accessed from anywhere. The default user password is 8999 and the login password is 1 and the login level is super admin. This is the main terminal status page. In this page, you can see the model number, serial number of the device, the firmware version that it's running. You can also give a terminal description that can be changed by the user. You have the IP address of the device, whether it's a primary or secondary device. We also have the system uptime and also the number of users that it's been registered. So this is, let's say this is a 1000 user model. That means 448 users have been registered already, out of which 441 are automatch users. The device is online right now and you can see the memory, the balanced memory. The next thing that you can go is add record. In add record, you are able to add manual entries. So for example, let's say that a person is working off the office, then someone can do the login on behalf of him, or the user can log in himself and register or in or out. Reports, you have two basic reports, the attendance report and the daily report. The attendance report, you are able to generate the report as per the user's name or by ID, or if you leave that blank, then you'll be getting the entire list. You're able to search for a particular period, things like yesterday, this week, last week, 2 months, or a particular date range. You're able to set the date, or you're also able to search by department wise. Once you hit search, you're able to search. We can try for, let's say, this month. We don't put a date frame. You're able to see at the moment user ID CCC is you have an in and an out. This can be exported directly into text or CSV by selecting the file format and pressing export. It will get downloaded. You also have the daily report. The daily report has more first in, last out. It has every detailed entries. This can be also generated based on the parameters that you set. So over here you have HR head human resources. So you have their first in. If you see the black dot, it means that the person is still in, this person is not out. So this is your daily report. You can go to view event log. This will have all the entries, all the ins and outs, no matter how many ever are there per day. So let's say you want to search it from the beginning of this year until now. You have all the entries right here. Over here in the event log, what you can see is the user ID, name, department, time, event, whether it was an in or out or lunch in, lunch out, whatever is the trigger name, it will be seen here. Then you also have the terminal name and also the remark. In the remark, you normally see that what was the mode it was used to open. For example, this was a remote door, so somebody logged into this page and opened the door remotely. Or custom remark by 8999, this means this was a manual entry. In the event log page, in the remark part, you're able to see what type of access mode was used. If it was fingerprint, it will say FP. If it was a smart card, it will have the smart card number listed here. Right now what you see is this is a custom remark. This is a manually added one. This is using remote door open. So it records the type it was used for the person to access the device. This can also be, you can also delete the event logs from here. If you want to add an event log, a manual one, it can be entered over here. This is a user list, so this is the number of users that are registered at the moment with the devices. So there are about 448 users, and you can see that the ones that are under bold black under active are active. If you see these three gray ones, that means the fingerprint is there's no fingerprint template for these users. These remaining users have fingerprint templates. Over here you can see that they are registered with a smart card or not. So you can see SMC. So that means that this device accepts smart card MyFair technology, which stands for M. So over here you can see that these person are registered. So for example, these first three are not registered for a smart card. The fourth person, David Mann, is registered with M, which stands for MyFair. PSW, so whether this person has registered password or not. So this person is registered, that's why it's bold black. And whether this person is auto match or not, and if this falls under any type of auto match group, it will all be listed over here. If you want to edit a particular person's any details, you just click on the person, and then over here you're able to adjust it. Always keep in mind you are not able to adjust the user ID. Well, user ID once created can only be deleted, it cannot be altered. Over here you can also make any changes. You can create passwords, you can give them an admin level, you can also say which part of access group they fall under. Also departments can all be done from here. You can also activate you can also record their fingerprints by clicking activate capture. Then automatically on the device it will say it will request you to place your finger. You will place 2-3 templates for the template to be recorded. From here you're able to also to set up which person can use what. For example, even though a person has a registered smart card, you can tell whether this person can use or not. So even if this person has a registered smart card, for example, this person is registered 446, the card number. If I uncheck this, if this person uses a smart card, it will not accept. It will accept only fingerprint. So you're able to set it up this way. You can also set up an expiry date. So this is mainly applicable for contract workers or temporary workers. When you do a registration for them, you can clearly state when the card will expire, when the activity of this person can expire. So once you put a date after this, whether this person uses a fingerprint, smart card, whatever, he will not be granted access. So that is your user list. If you want to create new user, same, it's very simple. You just go to add new user and you put in all the details. You create the user ID, last name, everything based on the user. This is where you can add everything, and at the end you can just say add, and the details will be automatically saved. Same thing goes for departments. You're able to add departments or customize the existing departments. You're able to also delete the department names that are already existing in your system. So over here, as you can see, the department name, department description, except the emergency and general, you're able to customize everything else. You can delete and add how many ever you want. This is the user messages. This message feature is basically if you want a particular, if any person, as soon as they punch in or punch out, if you want an SMS to be generated or email to be generated, this is the setup page for here. Now, for example, if I want to set up something to be appeared on the screen, so let's say maybe it's a birthday wish, you put the user ID and you put happy birthday, and you check delete the message after one display and submit, confirm. After this, what happens is this person, when he comes in the first on that day, he will see that it says happy birthday on the screen as soon as he punches in, and then the message will stop. It will not appear again. But if you uncheck this, that means this message will be shown to him every time on the screen of the device itself. This is the admin setting page. As you can see, you can set up for the personal user and user admin what type of functionalities they can use. For example, if you don't want the user admin to be able to view the view event log, you can uncheck this. For the personal user, you have only one option, whether he can view the attendance report or not. But for user admin, you can set up, if you turn on this, they are able to generate the daily report, attendance report, and they are able to download the report and vice versa. Now coming to the access control part. This is the access groups page that comes under access control. Over here you're able to set up different types of group settings. For example, let's say that I want to set up the access group timing, for example, for this department, for the engineering. So what I do is I come here, I can give it a name, so I can call it access group name. I can call it 9 to 6, 6 to 9, whatever it is. I click on add access right, set terminal. So from here I'm able to set up the time as to when this particular group can have access to that particular door. So I can set either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 9 to 6. So apart from these times, when I click set time, apart from these times, they won't be able to enter the place any other time. So if I say 9 to 6 and enable, you will see that it will be bolded over here in between. So this is the only time they will actually be allowed to gain access. The remaining times the access will be denied. So you can set it up for different groups. You can give it its own name, and then you can allocate it to any particular person or any particular user group. The next is the triggers. The triggers are also called our events. So in, out, these are also called your triggers or events. You can also call it lunch in, lunch out. Anything else that you need can also be set up over here. You can just customize the name. By default, in and out is already there. F1, F2 can be customized if you want to change the name. This can be changed on the device itself by pressing the arrow button. Holiday setting. In this you can set up all the public holidays if you know ahead of time. You can set it up. So this also remains in your system. Terminal setup. This is where you can do a lot of configuration to the device. You can change the description, so you can call it back door, front door, or the location or the branch. You can give it its name so you're able to identify the device and you don't have to remember the serial number. You can also change the IP address from here, the subnet mask, DNS server. All of this can be changed from here as well. Even it can also be changed from the device directly. You also have the security level. You can change it to low, high, medium. Detection method, also fast, normal, slow, can also be changed as to how fast it detects the finger once it's placed on the sensor. These are other normal setups. How long you want the welcome message to appear, 1 second or 3 seconds. You can also have the display timeout. As you know, the display has bright lit back, so it can go off after a certain time. You can set that as well. Clock format can also be changed to 12 hours or 24 hours. This is the configuration that you need when you're using an I/O controller and you want wake and output. It can be set up from here. Then you have the other options, which is a terminal mode. So once the device is on standalone mode, you change to access manager, for example the central server mode. Then you have to make sure that this is checked and saved. So then what happens is when the device is on access manager mode, if the device is not able to communicate to the server and is not connected to the server, then it will not let you do certain functionalities, mainly adding a new user. So even when the network is down, you're still able to punch in or punch out for users that are already existing in the system. But if it's a new user that you'd like to register on the device directly, it cannot be done if it does not have any access, if it does not have any connection to the server. You can also turn on the job code feature. Job code feature helps you do more project costing. So every time a person punches in, he has to enter a particular number that represents any type of particular location or job scope or project or costing code. You can also set the relay for your lock as to how long you want the door to be locked after the first release. So this can be changed from 1 to 1800 seconds. Door strike 2 is used if you are connecting the second door, and this has to be enabled only using the I/O controller. You can change the languages for the web UI. Nothing much in the device, is only for the web UI, since there's not too much text on the device itself. You can change the web server port as well. The default one is 80. Then you have allowed IP. Under allowed IP, what happens is you can set up a particular IP address of any one PC, for example. So if anybody else other than that IP address tries to access the device, they will not be able to. It will be locked to only this particular IP address. So as in only one PC from that particular IP address can access the web UI or the device. Then you have the authentication or log setup. In this you can set up certain on or off of certain features. For example, if you want to record unauthorized events, so if let's say somebody who's not registered in the device and tries to access the device, do you want to register that entry as well in your event log? Then you have the unregistered smart card. You also have an option where even smart cards of the same RFID technology can be used even though it's not registered. So what it does is that it just picks up the card number and saves it as part of the log event. When you have the model with the camera, you have the option whether you want to take a photo of the person, unauthorized or authorized. So even unauthorized, you can take a photo. So that can be an added security. Then the other features you have here is the auto in out. So if you have the auto in, if you enable this option on the device, the trigger will always say auto. So the person when he punches in, first will be in, second will be out, third will be in, fourth will be out. So it's just automatically does this lay of in out in out. You also have an option of rejecting repeated events. So if a person punches in, let's say at 10 o'clock, you can set up a time as to up to 24 hours when this person cannot punch in again. So this is to avoid any tailgating or phantom workers. You also have anti-passback. Anti-passback is used when you want one person to use dedicated place to punch in and a dedicated place to punch out mainly. So if there is no in, the person cannot punch out. So if a person tailgates another colleague when he comes in, and when he tries to leave the office, he tries to punch out, it will not allow him, because it will be violating the anti-passback rule. This is the terminal list. So normally once you have the device set up to any particular server, so either it's using the agent software or it's using the AMS software, you have the server list over here. So you have the endpoint URL, and it also gives you a status of the connection. So mainly if there's any kind of disruption in the connection, you will be able to see that it was not able to synchronize. Access client setup. This is when you're setting up the device with the AMS software. This option normally appears here on the screen only when you turn the device into access manager mode. When the device is on standalone mode, this option will not appear here. So over here you set up the endpoint URL and you set it and you register the device. As soon as you register the device, all the logs in the device will get pushed to your server. And the first device that you register with AMS will automatically become your master device. Over here you're able to set up the time if you want the door to remain open for a certain time of time. So for example, if it cannot apply to a fail-safe door for a fail secure or EM lock, because what happens is it disconnects the power. You can set it up Monday to Friday 9 to 6, for example, if that is when the door gets used a lot and you really don't need to secure the lock until during office hours. So that can be done from here. You can set it up even for every day or including holidays and however you like. This is a terminal clock page. You can set up the time zone here. This has to be done when the device is initially set up, and once you click on, then the device will match the clock of your PC, and then automatically once you set it turns off automatically, and then it just follows the time zone all the time that has already been set. External device. This is used when you're connecting the IO controller. Once it's connected, over here you're able to see that it will say IO recognized, IO board recognized. That means it's connected to the IO controller. This is the DNS part. If, for example, your client does not want the expense of having public IP or a static IP address, then they can use DDNS. DDNS is generally much cheaper for clients to use. Normally, there's a lot of other websites that provides around 2 to 3 host names for free. So if it is more than that, they just pay for it, and it's quite nominally charged. So this DDNS is already built into the device, can be just set up using the username and account. This is the DDNS setting page. You can just set up the username, password, and also the host name. So what happens is the device is able to push data to outside your network using DDNS. This is the Google Cloud Storage Service. So this is just using your normal Gmail account. You can set up your Google Drive account. In that, you just open a spreadsheet and you just have to copy the spreadsheet key. And what happens is automatically all of your basic user logs will push to the G Drive spreadsheet into the same file in different. It just keeps adding the rows and keeps updating the same file, and this happens on real time. SMS service. This is when you want an alert to be sent every time a person punches in or punches out. You just have to purchase an SMS package from any SMS gateway provider, set up the details here, and then automatically this feature is good to go. This is when you want the alert setting. If the door is left open for more than 30 seconds, you can set it up. Then the email has to be sent or an SMS. If the bottom case is detached, if the primary device is offline or duress access, for all of this you can set up the email address and also your mobile number, so you can get an alert when this thing happens. When you want to just do a system backup, you just have to download this. Everything, including the access control settings, user fingerprint templates, everything gets backed up. This is restore. You just have to upload the backed up file. You can do a firmware upgrade from here. Just upload the firmware, and then it will automatically update the firmware for you. You just have to choose the file, upload the file, and then you can upgrade or downgrade the firmware. You're able to download reports from here as well. So you can just select a time frame, or you can generate the report only for a particular ID number or person or particular event. So if you just want to see all the ins, you can do that as well. If you want to see all lunch and lunch out, you can do that as well. By using the remote door open page, you can click on open the door, and then it automatically remotely opens the door for you. So you can use this web UI to access the door as well. And this is just the usual reboot function that you can do from the browser. And that's about it in the web interface.